All right. So if anybody watched my previous stream, I have to apologize. I ran into a brick wall that I was not expecting. I did a whole lot of prep for the stream. I did a whole lot of prep. The one thing I did not expect to hit, the one thing that I was not expecting is a problem with the actual versioning of the framework that we were targeting. No idea. I had no idea that it was going to be such a big rabbit hole. So I just spent the last hour Googling, trying to hone the keywords to find the right possible thing. And I finally found it. I had no idea. Okay. This was such a disaster. Again, I apologize. Massive apologies to everybody. Was not expecting this. However, I figured it out. And I haven't tested the solution. God forbid we do that first before we start streaming. But because I saw the solution, because I saw light at the end of the tunnel, I wanted to start up a stream and say, all right, this is how we solve this. So we're gonna fire this up. I have the mod backed up here. I have all the code backed up here, right? So all of that stuff. I didn't want to lose the code because the code itself is actually good. It's just the project around the code that was crap, right? So let's show what I originally wanted to show. How to set up these projects. So we're going to create a new project and pretend that we haven't written all the code for the project yet. As you understand, when we created it last time, we created a class library. Now, I didn't read further. I didn't read into this. I just have always made class libraries. I had no idea that there were differences in the class libraries that you were making. So if you read the text under the class library, then you get a good idea of why I was having problems and why I could not physically change the framework that it was targeting. Because this says a project for creating a class library that targets .NET or .NET Standard. Now, one would read that and be like, that's what I want, right? No. That's not what you want. Let's scroll down a little bit and see what other things. Oh, class library .NET framework. What is that? A project for creating a .NET class library. Almost identical descriptions. .dll. That's what a class library is. But this one is a .NET framework class library. Let's try that one. And set this to strata shrinker. Look at that. Framework .NET 4.6.2. Goodness gracious. We found a solution. Everybody, we found the solution. And lo and behold, here we are. It is glorious. I want to set this again. I'm just gonna set up the strata shrinker mod. Yes, we want to set the code. And I'm just going to basically like copy and paste this. Well, let's actually add existing item. And we're going to go to depreciated strata shrinker config. And that should just load up the config. I mean, it is a blank, empty, it's just very, very basic. A basic file. And it should have strata vintage code. Sure. Yes, it copied. Yes, it copied the code over. And I'm just gonna copy and paste the mod itself. So let's open this in code. I want to basically just copy this whole thing. I could just overwrite the file, but let's just do this. Right. So we're gonna see, hey, we don't know what vintage story is, and we're gonna want to again add these references. We want to add these references. We want to add the API, the survival mod, and zero harmony from vintage story. Okay. That is going to be like, ha, we have all of the things. We know what we're looking at. Everything is good. And look at there. We are good to go there. Now, I bet you anything. Look at that. We have the version of this that I actually wanted. How about that? So we're going to look at the, this is depreciated. Yes. We're going to want the CS project, copy. This is what, these are command line arguments. Yeah. We want to start external program. Again, we want to point it to Visual Studio, or Visual. We want to point it to Vintage Story. Command line arguments. Again, we want to not that. I believe this is in the solution. No. Apparently, it's not in the solution. Where? Properties, launch settings. Yeah, that's where this was. It's just in a different place. Like, I'm used to the projects being like very cut and dry. Like, these are every single project that I have. The structure in the back end and all the files and all the things all looked identical. So it really, in that first stream, it threw me way off as to why I was seeing such vastly different things. Add mod path. We want to just do that. Because the mod directory inside of that has the mod info, and the mod info is the thing that tells it, hey, I want to load. The code directory does not have a mod info, therefore it does not try to load. So it's looking for that mod info.json. If you don't have that mod info, it's not going to load your thing. So build events, hey, there's the edit post build, and look at the macros. Like this, when I was saying in the original stream, if you watch that and you were screaming at the monitor or TV or however you were watching it, this is what I was talking about. This is when I was saying, like, there was a button here. This is what I'm talking about. The fact that it wasn't in there was super frustrating. But yeah, copy. We don't want to use the quotes. The post build event is it's copying the things that I want in there. So we have the build events, which is the copy. We have the debug events here, which gives me the mod, and it does load the mods from the main mod directory. It loads those, which is why I have the angel bell and stuff. All that add mod path is adding an additional mod path to search. So it looks in the original and it looks in the new one, which is great, because that way I can use my sweet angel belt and not have to have it do any shenanigans. So good times. Okay, I think possibly maybe this should work now. This is that question mark for a nullable type was a new feature. And so .NET 4.6.2 is not new enough to support that. And again, he's trying to the developer is trying to get basically migrate the entire code base to a new version of .NET, which is not an easy task. So it's going to take a while. I think there is a version of 1.17. There's a really experimental version of 1.17 that updates it. But one of the catches is I don't think Harmony has actually updated yet. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not sure how far along Harmony development is, but again, we're doing the traverse, create, etc., etc. Now, if we rebuild solution. Oh my God. Yep. Let's do clean solution. For some reason, when you add references, for some reason, copy local is set to true. But we don't want it to be copied local. Trust me, we do not want that. Like all of the base, like system dot are all copy local false. So why is the copy local true? I don't know. Properties. So 4.6.2 output type class library. All these are good. Resources, services. I don't know. Why it's suddenly adding like a DLL.config or something. I don't understand why that's happening. But if we do a build, rebuild, oh, look at that. 2 files copied. Well, how about that? Now we just have these 2 files copied. That's what we want. Okay, so that's good. Now, if we start it, basically I shouldn't see the stupid exception in the log file anymore. It should load it up. So I like to do the handbook because I can set it to pause the game. Or you can hit escape, I guess. Doesn't really matter. We want to look into the log file, the server debug and server main, or strata. Loaded assembly. How about that? We're not throwing an exception anymore for the for the strata. How about that? So let's just kind of look at. Okay, we're back up to the top, which means I'm not seeing anything there. Strata shrinker. We'll search. Okay. Strata shrinker. Regenerating default config as it was missing or broken. So that was the warning. It looked for the config. It did not find it, and it spit out a default config. So I'm kind of eager to see how that changed. Okay. Regenerating component is missing or broken. Why do we have that twice? Let's see. Mod config. Strata shrink. Hey, look at that. Change the steering wheel, rough strata scale. There's my comments. There's my comments. Strata scale comment, octave scale comment. I love it. They even appear in the file in the same order. Glorious. So with that now loaded, right? With that now loaded, I should, even though I don't have a way in, I have no like watch or autos. I'm not debugging, right? I'm not. I don't have anything in here that runs, so I can't capture. I can't capture that at runtime. I don't think. But let's go in here and see. Let's look at the map. Okay, so I know that all of the things that I was seeing before, it was not actually generating sandstone, limestone, halite, andesite. Sandstone, limestone, red marble, slate, peridot, andesite. That's a lot of rocks under there. Goddamn weather. Are you kidding me? And now it's snowing. Okay. So yeah. Limestone, peridot. Let's go here. Sandstone, limestone, slate, peridot, andesite. I'm trying to generate terrain here. So this is a bunch of sandstone. It's really hard to gauge. Sandstone, oil. Hey, how about that? There's oil under here. Limestone, slate, andesite, basalt. That's quite a lot of different types of rock. So I wonder if this is just a nightmare of water. This terrain, just a nightmare of water. So peridotite, andesite. So what would happen we're gonna exit. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add 2 lines to the log file. Base.log. No. Where? Yeah. Base.mod.log. Mod.log. .warn. Maybe not warning. Is there a different .verbose debug? Okay. We want strata shrinker overriding strata scale with value, and you put your new value ssconfig.stratus. No, come on. Strata scale. Okay. And then we're going to add overriding octave with value octave scale. Okay, so that will enter two values in there. I did not get a warning. I did not get an error. I don't know if there is a dot error. There is a dot error. Either way, this is why I like to use the mod name in the debug or in the log file, because then I can just search for that and it will skip to all the instances of the specific mod that I'm looking for. But this should basically override the values, or actually print out what values it's overriding. So what I want to do here is I'm going to set this to release. I'm going to rebuild. The release is just a tighter version of the DLL file. It's a little bit better for performance to use the released version, and you don't need the header files. Basically, what we want here is to set this to compressed strata shrinker 1.18 version 1.0. Okay, that is the actual mod. So I can go here and say, hey, just put it in the mod, right? I can change the values, either one of those values, I can change without recompiling the mod, which is the very reason that I do config values, because now I don't have to recompile this. I know the thing works. I know that it's loading. It's not erroring out. I'm not getting an exception. So now I can just go into mod config and I can just say, hey, let's tweak these values, right? Let's tweak these values. So I want to set the scale. Let's set the scale to 2, right? And octave scale, let's set this back to the 32. It defaults to 32. Whereas Stratascale defaults to 16. So now we're going to check. And again, you want to, when you test mods, when you're testing this, what ended up being the dot? Oh, Tama, the issue was how I created the system, or the project itself. So if I close this, I can just outline this. Create a new project. The difference was between this class library, which is what I used in the wrong one, to this class library, .NET Framework. Using this allowed me to set the right framework to v462, which is like it's like the lowest version like currently supported right now. So it's like the absolute most base version supported. But yeah, that was the difference, which is why I didn't even have the option of changing it in the project files, because it was using a vastly different set of configurations. Okay, so I'm going to set these 2 to 32, which is the extreme in the other, using the other thing. So it's the other extreme. So when we just load up the game now, we're not debugging it, we're just loading it up. I want to generate a new world. We're going to generate new test world. Standard. I always try, we're testing terrain generation. You cannot get like creative building because it's super flat, like craziness. So we're gonna customize it. Here's how I usually customize the worlds. I don't reset the world height. All that does is slow down world gen. I mean, you can set this way up here and create worlds that are 1,000 blocks tall. It is what it is. It just takes a lot longer to actually generate the chunks because the world is so big. Starting climate doesn't matter. Respawn radius doesn't matter. Grace timer, we're testing. This is not. I need it to be regular terrain, but I don't need it. I don't need it to be crazy. 60 minutes, yeah. Lung capacity. I can hold my breath for a lot longer. Days per month. I don't care. True winners. Block gravity is fine. Temperature hardiness. Again, I'm just based on creature hostility. Never hostile. Player health. Just, I bump that up just in case I turn off my angel belt. Hunger rate. Much slower. I don't change walk speed. Food spoilage rate. Much slower. Tree sapling growth. Much faster, just in case I need to test any of that. Walk speed normal. Oh, I already looked at that. 2 durability is fine. Mining speed, bump that up. Global deposit spawn rate. That should be fine. Most cubic blocks. Temporal storms, off. Rifts off. Climate distribution. Land cover scale, upheaval rate, geologic activity. So these kinds of things tweak. I don't know what geologic activity. That's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. But there is a new like Yellowstone-ish kind of surface feature that spawns that like it looks pretty cool. World width and length. I'm just gonna keep those. Polar equator distance. No, I'm gonna shrink this down. Polar equator distance. We're gonna go 10,000 blocks, and this is gonna be 25,000 blocks. We don't need infinitely sized worlds. And if I want to test climates, if I want to test biomes or anything like that, you want to not have to travel 7 bazillion miles in order to actually change stuff. Forestation and shrubs, everything is good. I don't care about free surface deposits. Land gaming, I don't want class exclusive recipes. All right, we're going to apply that and we're going to create the world. All right, so remember, this world has a vastly different rock strata scale setting. So we'll see. Oh Jesus, I don't care. What? Why? It's for some reason. Ooh, something happened here. So, first things first, give item angel belt off. All right. Thank you. All right. So, not sure, and of course it's raining. It's damn near always raining in this game. But why? He did change a bunch of world gen features, but this looks like a little extreme. God, this stupid weather. Is there a weather Whether you leg it. Oh. It just. Whether show. It says show and set. Go away. Slash weather clear. Yeah. Legacy arguments. It does not. I really need to ask Tyrone if we can get something that. Okay, so give item rock sniffer steel. Okay, slate, granite, andesite, pyrite. Granite, andesite, pyrite. So this is andesite, pyrite, granite. And right there, bingo, we are already bauxite, andesite, pyrite, white marble. Interesting. And then there's already sandstone. But I don't know if these strips are because of my amount. You can see the difference in rock types. Like just this right here. I don't think you'd ever see something like this in the vanilla game. Conglomerate, granite, sandstone. No, just pure granite. That's all that's down there. Chalk, bauxite, andesite. Yeah, this radically different. WE delete rocks 1. Only allowed in creative mode. Really? No such function. Oh. Did he change? Wow. Yeah, he must have. Wow. Yeah, he massively changed all of this. Massive change. Holy cow. Delete all contents inside your current selection. Delete area around the collar. Okay. So delete rocks. Interesting. Delete a block below. Places a block. Relight. Rebuild drain map. Rain height map and all on. Wow. Range. MGen code. Yeah, multi-block code of the selected area. Interesting. He massively changed this. Place every block type in the game. I'm not seeing. Mfill, mdelete. Delete all content. I don't have a selection. There used to be a call that just was like, I guess WE delete. Help. WE delete. Height. Horizontal size. That's WE delete. I mean 32 by 256. Clearing block. So what? It says it cleared. Let's. Okay. What I want to do, we're gonna try to figure this out. I want to set this back up to 16. So these are the default values, right? These are this 16 and 32. Basically means that they're unchanged. And we're going to see, or just make sure. There it is. Overriding stratascale, overriding octave scale. So that we know that these worked. This worked. Now everything here is fine and we are good there. Okay, so I don't need that open. I don't need that open. This is the only file. I just want to tweak these. So we're going to load up that same world, and the stripped out land, that could easily be not my mod that's doing that, but we're going to load it up anyway. So these are going to be the new versions. Okay. So wgen regen 2. Okay. Interesting. Let's try that again. wgen regen 2. Aha. So wgen regen 3. Whoa. Okay. Obviously not my mod. Obviously not my mod. If we do that again, are we going to get a different result? No. Which is weird. Why suddenly? Why suddenly is there this issue? Let's try. We're gonna zip on out of here. So the stripped out land, this is got to be a bug with the base game. This is most definitely not my mod's fault. So that is a good thing. But this is the very bizarre, very, very bizarre behavior. I don't think I've ever seen, but this is a very good spot. Very good spot to test this. Because if we look at this, I've never, ever seen land form like this in the game. Not ever. And remember, this is default settings. This is not, we're not overriding anything. So I want to take this and use it as a setting, and we're going to see what happens when we change the octave scale. Massive change of the octave scale. Okay. Now let's load her up again. Single player. Not mod. This is the mod. This is the mod test world that I load. Single player, new test world. There we go. Get it right. Okay. So, wgen regen 3. Did that change? Let's go over here. Well, over here. That does not look like it changed anything related to why am I not getting this printed out anymore? Because there we go. Slash wgen regen 2. Okay. Did not change. Sandstone, bauxite, andesite. Interesting. Okay. Really, the octave scale didn't change a darn thing over here. What I was looking for is when I regen this, wgen regen 3. Well, let's do 4. Let's go crazy. Yeah. Didn't change a thing. Kind of weird. You'd think that regenning it would use the new values. Let's try. We're going to save and leave. Quit. Go in here and say this back to 32. This down to 2. I don't know if it should go up or down. No idea. In the first half of the stream I did last time, I covered like the whole enchilada and what I'm trying to do and where they are. I can cover them again, certainly, if somebody wants me to, but I'm trying to figure out how to change the strata scale and the octave scale to change the values. Okay, so there's the look slash wgen regen 4. It is not affecting it at all. So I'm maybe I was wrong. That once it generates, once it's generated, it doesn't change. But this is still a very bizarre thing. Even with default values, this still generates like this. So I don't know. We're gonna head on over here. See. Limestone, bauxite, andesite. Granite. Claystone, conglomerate, slate, andesite. Yeah, this is definitely changing more frequently. Absolutely, 100%. Slate andesite. But this is new to me. I have not experienced this ever. And it's hard to know whether or not this is a problem with my mod or with the base game. My instinct tells me it's not my mod. But because it would be, I'm not overriding the individual chunks. I'm just changing how frequently they change, which should give you gradients like this, right? This is a nice gradient to change over. Let's see. Save and leave. I wish there was a way in game to change the values, the octave and the scale, just to see if there was a difference. I still think this is where I want my values. Octave scale 8, shrink that down, keep the strata scale. And let's try that again. .18 RC8. We're beyond RC8. We're on stable. They just released stable today. So, yeah, this is. So if other people are getting it, then I definitely don't want to worry about it. But wgen regen 4. You notice how this tree disappeared right here? Because trees are not part of the tree generator doesn't really use the seed for the world. It uses something else that can change. What I really would like to see is this change. See, we have this to that to that. You know, to different versions there. And then again, here's some more different there. So if we look at this, you can see all the different rock types here. Matt, the mod is editing two values, or it. I haven't loaded it up where it edits both at once. It's either one or the other that I'm testing to try to find the difference. But with this issue here, it's really hard to determine whether or not my mod is working, because it's like, where am I? There I am over here. I've never had the game have such a wide variety of rock. So close to one another. So you can see, like, what is this? Limestone. Andesite, biolite. Andesite, basalt, biolite. Like, the fact that there are so many different kinds of rock here, that is new to me. Like, that, I've never seen that before. So I don't know if it's my mod doing that, or if it's new 1.18. Because again, I've never seen it. do you think that I could just run the wgen regen command? One of the things I was trying to test is I set the values back to default, right? The default values that the game has. So basically I wasn't overwriting anything. I loaded back the game with the default values set, and I tried to regen the terrain. There was no difference in the rock type. No difference. And because there was no difference, either my mod wasn't doing a damn thing, or the rock strata types, once generated, do not change when you regen the map. So yeah, I don't know. There's no way to find the seed. So this is bauxite. And then we immediately go over to shale. So yeah, it was over here. I was in this area and I was testing the regen. Delete. Help. Oh my god. wgen delete. What's funny is test map, test noise, chunk, region, position, tree. wgen test map. Climate forest. Geologic province. Province map generated. Now, where, pray tell, would that be? Where do you think that would put that? Province map generated. I have no idea where that would have gone. It's all doesn't really help if it doesn't tell you where it goes. Class wgen chunk. wgen region. Climate or forest wind. G province. G provi. Landform I. wgen region. G province. Original province map. I don't know where these are. It's like province map. Where's that at now? Yeah, it's not outputting into world edit. Is there a... I doubt it would be in here. Oh, I guess it is in here. Okay. Geologic Province 1, Wobble Province. Geologic Province 20... I don't know why that is a thing, but... I guess. So I found the provinces. But again, I'm assuming this is based on noise, right? But if we look like this compared to this, how do they compare? I don't think it's centered around me right here, right? That's you would think. Yeah, I don't know. Map geologic property. Wobble province. Geologic province I. Oh, done. Okay, well, what did you do? Lerped. Okay. Now is I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is for the entire world. I don't think this is for my local area. I think this is for the entire world. This is the map that it uses. Figure out the geologic provinces for the entire world. World Gen. I think there's a way. I think there's a way to output the rock stratum map. Let me see. Do a search on the wiki. Aha! WGen test map rock strata. Ooh. Given paths format is not supported. Well, that's not cool. What? Darn. That would have been very helpful. That would have been very helpful indeed. WGen test map. Climate, forest, wind, landform, ore. So it doesn't even show the rock strata in there. Generates a 512 by 512 example selected map as a PNG. Four top distort. No, I don't want a test map. Climate or forest wind. WGen region. G province. Okay. So obviously this is not straightforward. Trying to test this. I think they need to add a path to generated file. Move 1,000 blocks and try again. That's a good idea. Let's do time add 8, 7. So let's go like way south. Yeah, see we're hitting this issue again. So that isn't fixed. So I think it was wgen region G province. No. That's just the same stupid whatever this is supposed to be. Wobble. Geologic province 1. Wobble. What? Wobble provinces. It's region. Okay. Well, I see a little bit of color down here. There's a slight gradient. But that was a 640 by 640 file. Obviously not matching anything in here. We have some really weird development in here. Weird development. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. Okay, we're gonna quit. We are going to remove this mod. Let's put it into one of the 17 mods just for now. So we do not have the mod. 100% do not have the mod. We're going to go into our test world. We do not have the mod anywhere. We're going to go south. Okay, so the mountains, definitely getting the same kind of weird, thin mountain ranges. Not seeing any. Okay, we're not seeing any weird blank. Wow, look at that. Wow, that is a mountain and a half. Just solid granite. A little bit of shale. Okay, so let's try to regen this. Nope. Even without the mod. Wow, look at that. That is a mountain and a half. Wow. Look at that mountain just right up out of nowhere. You were made of granite. Pretty much all the way down. The entire thing is granite. Except for a top little bit of shale. Yeah, there's another. Where am I? There I am. Another strip. So this definitely not my mod. Yeah, none of this was generated. Wow, that's a lot of quartz. So this is solid granite right here. Really? You're gonna get hurt? Okay, let's leave. Quit. Cut. Paste. And let's check 16 and 8. So just to recap what those are actually setting, what variables those are changing. Right in here. Rock strata octave scale, rock strata scale. These are the only two places that these exist. Right? Well, not the only two. I think if we go to analyze, read by, read region, wgen commands, read region. So this is the rock strata command that I just tried. Arg equals rock strata. First byte grayscale map, rock strata K, rock strata, to string, rock strata scale, draw map region, scale. So in my mind, you want to scale something down, right, in order to change the rock types more frequently. The octave change here is a divisor to the frequency. Frequency of K, and K is frequencies from the rock stratum. Again, I don't know a lot about noise, or the Perlin noise system. But the strata variance, if you look in the actual file, assets, survival, world gen, rock strata, bingo, frequencies. This is what it's editing, right? This is what it's editing. I have no idea how to change any of these values or what to change in order to, like, the rock strata octave is changing these frequencies. It's a divisor on these frequencies. But I don't know what the result of that would be. Frequency of K divided by equals rock strata octave scale. which by default is 32. So you're dividing the frequencies by 32, right? So these numbers, these frequencies get very, 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 very small. Very tiny. Dividing them all by 32. Otherwise, the rock strata scale is the noise size, the weird, obscure noise size. And I don't even think Tyrone, when Tyrone pointed me to this direction, he wasn't even sure which one to edit, whether it was one or both of them or what. So that's why I'm just sort of fumbling around in the dark trying to figure this out, because do I increase the rock strata so the region size gets smaller? Right? Region size is essentially, right here it says nothing, but we analyze it, implemented by this. Magic num. We have magic numbers. Server chunk size, which is 32. That's hard coded. Chunk region size in chunks is 16. So region size in chunks, 16 chunks. So it's 32 divided by 16, which is 2. So the region size is 2. That's the region size. Basically hard-coded to be 2 divided by this, which defaults to 16. So 2 divided by 16 is your noise size. How that relates to this, I don't know. Well, they're not magical. You can see what they are. Like I said, the region size is 2. That never changes. The region size is 2. World manager.region size. Width, length, height, and blocks of a region on the server equals 2. Because the only thing that overrides that implements that, is world API.region size. This is the only thing. And it returns server chunk size 32. It's times. I'm sorry. It's times 16. My bad. It's 32 times 16. That's the region size. And it never changes. That's all the region size. So 32 times 16, 512. Okay. 512 divided by rock strata scale, which is 16 by default. Which you guessed is going to be 32. So noise size is always going to be 32. In the vanilla game, without the mod, it's always going to be 32. So if you look at this gen layer int map.data, which is just an int array strata noises of I, which is variance of rock stratum. You could just go down the rabbit hole here, but I'm guessing variance, right? All of these are different variants. Salt, clay, sandstone, shale, blah, 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 blah. These are all different variants and rock groups, right? So the rock groups, whatever. So noise size is going to be 32. Region X, which is probably the index into the region. Yeah, X and Z is the offset into the region, I think, times the noise size minus the padding. Padding is 2. I could debug the game and have a breakpoint in here. You can debug using dnspy. I could come in here easily and debug this. I still wouldn't know what the freaking values mean, but yeah, you can debug in dnspy here, which is why this exists. Debug a program. But yeah, you would. I don't know how you would figure out how this changes, but if we make rock stratoscale smaller than 16, region size, remember, is 512. So 512 divided by 16 is 32. Okay. So if this value is smaller, let's say 8, 512 divided by 8, that's going to be 64. So noise size is 64 now. I think it's the opposite of what we want. I think we want it to shrink. I think noise size needs to shrink. I could be completely opposite of wrong. Again, I don't know noise. I don't know how to modify these algorithms in order to get what I want. So if I increase rock stratoscale, let's say it's instead of 16, it's 32. That means noise size goes down to 16. So should we try that? Let's just try that. Because why not? No, not the file I wanted. I wanted this one. So octave scale, the default of octave scale is 32. Let's set this also to 32. Right? So octave scale does not change, but the stratoscale is increased now. God only knows what this is going to do. The size of a noise pixel size will always be a chunk. I don't think it's that specific. I don't think a pixel is a chunk. I don't think so. Because you get chunks that have different values in them. You don't, you also have a depth, right? You have a depth of the rock, and I hope to show that here. So let's open it up again. Single player, new test world. Okay. So class wgen regen 2. Slash wgen delete rocks. There's not a user. Oh my god. No such function. No such function. No such function. What happened to delete rocks, man? I'd love delete rocks. I don't know how to change. So let's generate. This was a massive area of granite. I don't see a change at all when I regen, which is weird. You'd think that it would regen. Oh my god. Are we still in granite land? I mean, it looks like we are. Give item world eater. Granite peridot. See, this should have changed. With as radical as we changed the value, we should be at new different rock types by now. Let me catch up to chat. I looked up online generators and you know that I can open Photoshop and generate noise, right? I can do that. But the fact that there are multiple frequencies and layers, the complexity of the origin or the rock strata generator is so much bigger than just a single noise texture. It's like there are several noise textures overlapping one another because you usually have 3 layers of rock, or you can have 3 layers of rock a lot of the times. The fact that we don't have it here. See, granite peridot. We should have a different type by now. The fact that we don't, I don't know, it just tells me that something isn't right. That we should be seeing different rock types by now. I mean, I have traveled. This granite started way back in here, and I've traveled a long ways. And it looks like it's still even way out here. It still is granite. Yeah. This should not be this much granite. So that tells me either I'm using the wrong values or I went the wrong direction. Right? Because if we look at this, rock scale, so I'm going to set this to something extreme. I'm going to set it to 2. And just see how crazy. If this actually affects it. Now, again, I don't think, for some reason, the game does it, you know, when you regen an area, I don't think it regens. Okay. How far out do we have to go? A little bit further. And then this is all granite. This is all granite. An ocean of granite right here. But you can see it's not a cut and dried change. There is a definite like waviness, gradual change to it here. But it's still not changing from granite. Like we are still granite, solid granite. And this is what I wanted to change, is just having oceans of granite or andesite or whatever it is. God, that is a massive mountain. That is a big, big mountain right there. You have a little. No, that's dirt. That doesn't change. But look, this is all granite. Like this is all granite. Still solid granite. We should not be seeing solid granite at all. I'm definitely into new areas. We're definitely generating new terrain. Okay. So why is this not changing? What could I possibly be doing wrong? This should be changing. This is the main reason the rock sniffer exists. This is why the rock sniffer exists, because I got so tired of searching for like the right kind of ore or the right kind of rock. Because I would come across oceans of a single rock type like this. And I was just like, come on. Still, nothing but granite. Okay, so octave scale of 216. Do I need to change both of them maybe? I don't know. We're going to change octave scale to 2 and see if that makes a difference. And just to double check, bingo. Okay. If you see these, you know it's being run. Especially if you see those and there's no error, because you know they're being run. Again, I really wish I could export the rock strata map. No idea why I'm not able to, but okay. Again, it's just an ocean of granite. Oh, there's a little bit of a hint. Something else. Claystone, granite, andesite. But this could easily be just a natural, like, wow, some deep ocean in here. Deep water. Here's another, like, massive area. Peridot sand. More granite. some reason there's just a giant bubble peridot here. Ooh. I've never seen a whole group of these guys. Look at that. That's new. So it looks like we got some andesite up here. Granite. Granite. Every time a new chunk is run, every time a new chunk is generated, it should pull that value and generate the chunk with the new value. It should. But for reasons unknown, I found a entire ocean, like this whole area, save for a couple little pockets, is pure granite. And with the value that I set, that should not be the case. Like, it should not be the case. So I don't know like what values to set it at by default. Ooh. Whoa. That is an angry bear. That is a very yeah, still granite. Still granite. Like, this should not exist. Hey, there's a little bit of basalt down here somewhere. Granite gravel. Granite. Like, what does the guy got to do? Like, is it... Let's look at the code really quick. The game code. Okay. On map region gen. Yeah. This is... Gen rock strata new. Map region generation. Event that is triggered whenever a new 16 by 16 section of column of chunks is being generated. It is always called before the chunk generator and before the map chunk generation event. So, yeah, every time a region is generated, I think you want the octave scale to be higher and the strata scale to be lower. Okay. This is mainly why I made this. Mainly why I made these mods configurable, because I didn't want to have to recompile the damn thing. So, octave scale to be higher. So this defaults at 32. This is the default value of this. So we're going to set this to 64. Come on, 60. No, 64. There we go. Octave scale to be higher and the strata scale to be lower. Okay, so 64 and 8. 64 and 8. So that is essentially timesing this by 2, dividing this by 2. Same change. Same change. Just opposite directions, just like you said. Now, single player, and I know I looked at the code, it definitely gets called when a new region is generated. Regions are pretty big. I'll give them that. Regions are pretty big, which is why we probably want to go a ways. Yeah, new test world. Remember, regions are like huge. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Granite gravel. That tells me we're in a granite. We're still in the granite area. Oh, wolves. Well, there's some slate. Slate, granite, peridot, and andesite. Slate, peridot, andesite. Well, we're out of granite. There's no more granite where we're at. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure if we did that. The mod? This is why I hate trying to edit world gen, because you just never know. The only way to really truly test it would be to generate generate the same exact seed with the different setting. That's again shale. Shale, slate, red marble, peridot, andesite. Okay, so that... Where are we? We're way over here. So if we go south again, that's granite gravel. But how much granite is below it? Typically the gravel. Granite, peridot, andesite, phyllite. Okay. Slate, peridot, andesite. Claystone. Claystone, conglomerate, slate, andesite. Wow. Yeah, maybe we're getting somewhere. Never seen this many rock types in one place. Shale, slate, andesite. Go a little bit further. Shale, slate. Okay, that's the same. We want to see it change. Maybe I should shrink the region size as well. Like, slate, andesite. Hello. White marble? Nice. andesite. So yeah, andesite oceans are also a bane of my existence. So I wonder, ooh, finally, there's like ancient pillars and stuff. Really? Ancient pillar. Nice. My quartz blocks allow you to actually craft. Just pure andesite. Okay, so if we want to try to shrink the region size, I think we'll be able to do that. The same methodology that we use here. Yeah, I think that the region size is what is determining, because it's generating the entire region all at once. You go into a new region, or you're going where it's in range, it'll generate the whole thing all at once, and generate the rock strata layers with whatever setting that we're using. And so that's not that we haven't changed the size up. So while we are changing the rocks frequencies and stuff, the regions themselves are the same large structures. So if we want to open, let's open recent solutions. Okay. Okay. So we want, first of all, we're going to need to find. Did I close the Inspire? I never should close. I use this all the time. Should never close it. Okay. So region, map region, world manager dot region size. Okay. We're going to analyze this. Width, length, height of blocks are in blocks of a region on the server. Okay. So chunk size, that should be easily Magic Gnome server chunk size. 32. So we actually want to see if we can't mess around with the magic numbers. The magic num object. Okay. Let's look at these. Again, it doesn't matter what it is. Harmony can get to it. Ooh, stretching. Yeah, I love DN Spy. This is so great. Okay, now server chunk size 32. That I don't want to change. Don't want to change that, trust me. We want to look at region size, which is region size in chunks times server chunk size. So region size in chunks. Chunk region size in chunks. That number right there. $16 chunks per region. That's a huge amount of area. That's 512 blocks. 16 times 32 is 8 times 64. Yeah, 512. Okay. Chunk region size in chunks. I'm pretty sure the only thing red, actually red by a lot. Send and ooh, see. Chunk region size in chunks. Delete chunk columns. See this, I'm hesitant to change this. Because this is like a fundamental coordinate system. Yeah, I don't think I should change this value. Because you're indexing into regions, right? Region X, region Z. You're indexing into the region data, and this is the offset that you have to the region data. I don't feel comfortable modding this value at all. I don't think I want to touch this. Because for one, if you change that and all of a sudden the indexes are all wrong, a user that downloads the mod and just loads it into an existing world could potentially foobar the entire world. Because now the indexes that it's trying to pull chunks from they're completely wrong. Um, I yeah, I don't think I should change this. Um, map chunk, create map chunk, checkers. Um, get or create map region. I mean, I can certainly add it to the mod. Chunk region size in chunks. Copy. Now, is there? This is chunk region size in chunks. These just said they're JSON properties, but they're all static. Chunk region size in chunks. Okay. Well, what is this? You can use this to increase, lower the CPU network load. Oh. This can already be changed. server magic numbers. That would be I don't think it would be in here, would it? Game? Config? Since it's changeable, it's changeable. World properties. There's got to be a server magic numbers in here somewhere. There's got to be. Like, it's in here somewhere. Server magic numbers right there. Where is it? It's not in the list. Haha, it's not a JSON property. Chunk region size in chunks. It's not exposed as a property. Okay, well, that means I can edit it. Okay, so we're going to go shrinker mod. We're going to say public string magic chunk region size public int region size in chunks equals 8. Region size in chunks. Okay. Region size in chunks. Region size comment. Okay. And then go over here. Get all that loaded. Base.mod.logger.verbose debug. Overriding chunk region size in chunks with value. traverse.create type of magic. Ooh, why did I not see that? Vintage story dot server. API.server. This namespace is not something we can. Vintage story.server. Ah, it's alive, that's why. So we go to references. We go add reference. Lib right here. Bingo. All right, the field name. Now again, doing this without knowing like how bad this is going to break all the things. Chunk region size in chunks dot set value ssconfig dot region size in chunks. So that is traversing into this object, setting this value to whatever we set in the config. One thing you can do up here, once you load the config, so I can set like to sanity check values to ensure nothing crazy happens. Okay. Because you could set those values to something insane and that would be bad. And then they would complain to me and say, hey, my game crashed with your mod, and not tell me that they set their region size in chunks to 6,000. And it's like, well, obviously you don't want to do that. Changes rock, TerraGen rock status scale, default, or let's do vanilla value equals 16. Vanilla value equals 32. Vanilla value equals 16. Okay. I have no idea what this is going to do. No idea. Stratascale. So, yeah. Build. Rebuild. Okay. Now I could debug it. I could do all the things. But whatever. We are going to close that. We're going to open the config. This should change. Minimize that. Mod. This is, again, all we want. These two things is all we want. Send to compressed Strata shrinker dash 1.18 dash 1.0. And let's drop that in here. Because again, I can edit all the configs and stuff outside of that. So we want, let's see, this should, quote, should regenerate the config. This could just crash and burn, and God forbid. Okay, well, the fact that it loaded is quite the surprise. What is that thing? Ooh. So just randomly curious. Whoa. That's new. Okay. Go over here. We definitely changed something. I mean, it changed. It definitely changed something. Let's go out in the middle of the ocean. Okay. Regen 3. Okay, well, that's honestly surprising. I thought it was going to completely override all of this stuff. Interesting. Now let's just generate a bunch of new terrain here. Let's see. Alright, this is conglomerate? No, Peridot. Okay. Peridot andesite. Bauxite. Again, mostly andesite. What happened to my clouds? I'm not seeing any clouds. Basically all andesite still. We're getting this issue. It is weird. We generated so much. I mean, yeah, there's... It definitely is weirdly like periodic. I don't get it. Let's go somewhere. Very bizarre. I like how it's raining and we're technically in a desert. I do like that. Very bizarre. I mean, we're getting quite a few different types of rock here. I'm not sure if this is the mod. Again, it's really hard to tell because that rock strata is not working. I mean, claystone, shale, andesite. Claystone. This is weird. Like, no. So what would happen? I'm just gonna immediately load new world. I don't care about that. Strata test. Customize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the world seed, and just default the whole thing. Okay. So, what type of rock? Granite. Of course. Of course is all granite. Oh. Okay. Now, this should have... That should have regened. Why didn't that regenerate? Why didn't that regenerate? I mean, it definitely initialized. That's weird. That should have regenerated that file. The file was valid. I mean, I guess we have to delete it in order to regenerate it. Okay. So just get a general idea of our surroundings. Pretty much all granite. Yeah, this is all granite. So I wonder, this should have regenerated this. Bingo. So, like, so you're saying, I mean, the region size in chunks there. Wait, this, what? Oh, I didn't set. Okay. Well, it's good that this Uh, this is why we test it. There we go. I mean, I know what the default values are, so I can just go in here. So you said half this, but double this, and then half that. If I remember you right. Yeah, octave scale to be higher and stratoscale to be lower. And then the region size to be lower. So the regions are smaller. Let me get OBS back up. There we go. Regions are smaller. Octave scale is higher, stratoscale is lower. Okay. So what we want to do then, single player, create a new world. Strata test 2. Customize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same seed. Remember, this is the exact same seed. You know, you're not guaranteed to spawn in the exact same location. Give item. Okay. This is all granite still. Yeah, I think we were closer to this water up here. No idea. It's still just granite as far as the eye can see. Um, okay, well, as far as I can tell, as far as I can tell, the mod doesn't do anything. It literally changes nothing. I have no idea how these values are affecting the generation. I have no idea. It just does not seem like they're changing anything at all. I mean, we are doubling the octaves, we half the scale, and we half the region size. There should be a difference. There should be a drastic difference to these worlds. Let's leave and open the other one. Okay, I'm not. Again, you don't spawn in exactly the same spot. I wish I would have jotted down my coordinates. That would have been the smart thing to do. You know, it would have been the smart thing to do. I don't know where. Yeah, I think I spawned in back here somewhere. This definitely looks like the area I spawned in at. Um, I don't know. This is still all massive amounts of granite. Like, no change. Crimson King. Oh, how about all of this? Not a single difference. I have no idea. No idea what to do here. How to change these to actually give me a different result. I've gone extremes in both directions. Generated multiple worlds. Literally no changes. Whoa. What the hell? Really? That was weird. Yeah, it just like stripped the grass off of all this. There must be something else going on behind the scenes here. It's not as simple as the scale. It just can't be. Um um so yeah, I honestly I need to reach out to Tyrone and be like, something else is going on here because I've changed both of those values that he pointed me to, neither of which seems to have any impact at all on the rocks that spawn. It just you know, I can upload this mod to the vintage mod database. I can upload it with a giant warning and just say, you know, use at your own risk, but hey, if you find values in any of these three values, if you find any of those values that work, that actually changes things up, go for it. And, you know, I can have 50 people actually start tweaking those values. Because I didn't try super duper extreme values, right? So, you know, one of the things that we can do is before we do a final render, a final build of this, I want to do some sanity checks if ssconfig dot let's do octave scale is greater than, I mean, let's see. I mean, the other thing that could happen is somebody puts a non-power of 2 value in here, and that would probably be very, very bad. But that, I don't even know how to check for that. So I guess leave it up to the user to be smart enough. So yeah, I guess we're, if this is going to be a strictly like at your own risk, these are 3 values that you can tweak. Yeah, I guess. Let's set them all to default values. So when somebody downloads the mod, it will default. The values will default to not be changed at all. Okay. Not be changed at all. Vanilla value equals 16. Airgen Rockstrata octave scale 32. Let's look at TerraGen config one more time. Way down here. Okay. Region size. Where's my TerraGen config? Not magic number. Not magic number. Not magic number. Not magic number. TerraGen config. Let's look at this. Climate map. Climate, deposit. Do decoration pass. If I could create a debugging thing and be able to be like flip these on and off and just turn off decorations and just get like basic stuff, but forest map. So you can tell like there's a climate map, there's a rainfall map, there's like region maps, there's geologic provinces. There's so many layers of complexity onto the terrain. Something has to be changing it. There's the geo provinces scale. Geo province map scale. That's another one. Upheaval. That's a new feature. Landform. I'm not sure what those change. Ocean, rock strata. These are the only 2 rock strata. Terrain gen octaves. Sea level. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could go in here and you could tweak with a lot of these. You could, absolutely. But I don't know which would change. What would change to what? Like, I don't know what the geologic province, I don't know what that controls, right? Like, what is the geologic province? I have no idea. Um, Landform, I don't know what that is. All I wanted to do was change what rock types spawn. Not change what spawns, but just make them change more frequently. Like, yeah, I'm at a loss. Okay, well, without getting too crazy with it, I think that's gonna have to be it. Um, Strata Shrinker. I mean, I set it to shrink. The thing is named Strata Shrinker, so I can't really go back on that right now. And it's like one of the simplest, it's one of the simplest mods. For some reason, this was allowed to load. I mean, I guess. Okay, so it only returns null if the file doesn't exist. So be sure to okay. I want dot new sugar config. So I don't technically need this. Maybe, possibly, but my thought was that I didn't have any exception in here. So what I could do is base.mod.logger.warning error loading error loading config regenerating, and then e.message. And the message will just be like exception when trying to load blah 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 blah, or whatever the thing might be, and it'll just regenerate the config. Hopefully overriding. I don't know if I have to delete the old one, but I don't know. Don't know. I'm sure if there's a bug, I'm sure I'll hear about it. But let's rebuild it. And it's in release mode, which is fine. Now I'm going to delete my config on my local system just because. And then the mod itself is going to be very, very basic. Yes. We're going to change this allows editing of hidden TerraGen variables and magic num chunk size or region size. Okay. I'm wondering, yeah, it has to be an server only because both of those objects, the map gen and the magic numbers, those are both on the server side. Like those are both server based objects. So clients don't even have those objects. Period. No. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to include the debug data program debug database. Yeah. Which is just all the, little bits. And then I'm going to upload this to GitHub. So send to compressed 1.18, 1.0. Trying to use my new naming scheme anywhere and everywhere I can possibly use it. So you can see all of my updated mods are the 1.18, all the ones that I recompiled. Now, this should technically work on 1.17. Absolutely 100%. It should work. Because I don't set the dependency to the game and it's independent. Both of those objects, both of all the variables that I tweak are all present in 1.17 and going way back. But yeah, now I need to update this, upload it to Vintage Story. So yeah, that's going to do it for the stream. I'll let anybody out there tweak with the values, and if you can come up with a set of those variables that actually has an effect that's noticeable, where you get more rock types spawning in a smaller area, where you don't have an area of several thousand blocks of just granite or just andesite. You have different rock types. I would be more than ecstatic to change my values, my default values, recompile it, and throw you some credit on the mod page. Just say, hey, the values that we found, are given by, Joe Schmo and whatever. But yeah, allows you to play with the values to your own testing environment, however you want to do that. So I thank everybody for coming by. Again, apologize for the very first stream. Boy, did I beat my head against the wall. That was rough. But I'm glad I found a solution, and I'm glad I was able to bring it back. Even though the mod literally does nothing. So, crazy, I know. Anyway, come back on Saturday where we're going to be trying out the game Small Land with whatever patrons want to come by and join for that. Anyway, see y'all later.